They laughed. They recorded him on their phones. They called security and they fired him, all because an old cleaner sat quietly in the CEO's chair. But exactly 43 minutes later, every executive in that room stood up, not because the CEO had entered, but because they had just discovered the man holding a mop owned 80% of the entire company, and the people who mocked him were now begging him not to destroy their careers. This is the unbelievable story of how one humble cleaner exposed greed, arrogance, and fake loyalty without saying a single word. For 7 years, every morning before sunrise, an old man named Mr. Daniel Okoro unlocked the doors of Prestige Global Holdings, one of Africa's biggest technology companies. He cleaned every office, every hallway, every executive bathroom, every conference room. He polished awards worth millions, yet nobody knew his name. To most employees, he was simply the old cleaner. Some never greeted him. Some threw coffee cups on the floor, expecting him to clean them. Others deliberately ignored him. He never complained. He simply smiled, picked up the trash, and wished everyone a good morning. The younger cleaners often asked, "Papa Daniel, why don't you ever get angry?" He would simply answer, "Character is tested when nobody thinks you matter." Nobody understood what he meant. Everything changed when a new CEO arrived, Richard Coleman, young, aggressive, brilliant, but unbelievably arrogant. He believed every employee existed to serve executives. On his first day, he ordered, no cleaner should ever use the executive elevator. No cleaner should enter the executive floor during business hours. They are distracting. Fear spread through the company. Managers became harsher. Executives became colder. Everyone copied Richard's attitude. Everyone, except one employee, a junior accountant named Sarah Bello. Every morning, she greeted Daniel. Sometimes she bought him breakfast. Sometimes she helped him carry heavy cleaning supplies. Everyone laughed at her. "Why are you always talking to the cleaner?" She smiled. "My parents taught me that respect isn't based on job titles." Daniel never forgot those words. Something unusual about Daniel slowly became impossible to ignore. He knew everyone's names. He remembered the employees' birthdays. He often predicted business problems before executives noticed them. Sometimes he quietly suggested moving important documents before leaks happened. Sometimes he warned the IT department about security risks. He always seemed to know everything. One security guard whispered, "How does a cleaner know so much about corporate finance?" Nobody had an answer. Richard dismissed him. Old people gossip too much. One Friday morning, the CEO's office was being renovated. Workers moved expensive furniture. The famous executive chair, worth over $10,000, was temporarily placed inside the boardroom. Daniel entered, carrying a bucket. He slowly cleaned the floor, finished his work, looked around. Nobody was there. His tired legs trembled. For the first time in hours, he quietly sat in the CEO's chair, just to rest, nothing more. Unknown to him, a junior executive secretly recorded everything. Within minutes, the video exploded through the company's internal chat. "Look at the cleaner, pretending to be CEO." People laughed. Memes appeared. Someone added fake royal music. Thousands watched. Richard was furious. Richard stormed into the boardroom. "What do you think you're doing?" Daniel calmly stood up. "I'm sorry. My legs became weak." Richard shouted, "You've contaminated executive property." Everyone watched. Nobody defended him, except Sarah. "Sir, he only sat because he was exhausted," Richard snapped. "Stay out of this." He pointed towards security. "Escort him out immediately." Daniel quietly picked up his mop, looked once around the room, and softly said, "I understand." Then he walked away. The staff applauded. Some even laughed. None of them noticed. Daniel wasn't angry. He looked disappointed. Exactly 43 minutes later, black luxury vehicles entered company headquarters. The board of directors had arrived unexpectedly. Nobody knew why. Executives rushed into the conference room. Richard smiled confidently. He believed he would receive praise. Instead, the chairman asked one question. "Where is Mr. Daniel Okoro?" Silence. Richard frowned. "The cleaner?" The chairman looked horrified. "The cleaner? He owns this company." The room froze. Richard laughed nervously. "What joke is this?" The chairman placed a thick legal document on the table. "Not a joke. Mr. Daniel inherited 80% ownership from the company's founder, his childhood best friend." Nobody breathed. Years earlier, Prestige Global Holdings had been nothing more than a tiny garage startup. Two friends built it together. Founder, Chief Emmanuel Adeyemi, and Daniel Okoro. Daniel had invested his life savings, but tragedy struck. Daniel lost his wife and son in a terrible accident. Unable to continue business, he stepped away. Chief Emmanuel continued building the company. Before his death, he wrote one final instruction. "My brother Daniel owns 80%, but never tell him to act like an owner. Let him choose the right time." Daniel had honored that wish. For 7 years, he worked quietly as a cleaner, watching, learning, seeing people's true character. When they believed he had no power, Richard turned pale. Managers started crying. Several executives tried apologizing. "It's all a misunderstanding." Daniel entered quietly, still wearing his cleaning uniform, still carrying his mop. The chairman stood. Every board member stood. The entire room followed. Nobody laughed anymore. Daniel looked at everyone. "I now know exactly who you are." No shouting, no revenge, just silence and disappointment, which hurt far more. Everyone expected mass dismissals. Instead, Daniel smiled gently. Power reveals character, but so does having none. He looked towards Sarah, the only person who respected me when she believed I had nothing. He announced, effective immediately, Sarah Bello becomes the company's new executive director of culture and people. The room erupted in shock. Richard whispered, "She's only a junior accountant." Daniel answered, "Leadership begins with humanity." Then he faced Richard. "You weren't fired because you made one mistake. You lost your position because you forgot every human being deserves dignity." Richard silently handed over his resignation. Months later, Prestige Global Holdings became one of the best workplaces in the country. Employee satisfaction reached record highs. Every new staff member received the same lesson on the first day. Respect everyone, because you never truly know who they are. And even if they own nothing, kindness costs nothing. Daniel never moved into the CIO's luxurious office. Instead, he placed his old mop in a glass display case near the entrance. Below it was a simple inscription: "The greatest leaders never need expensive chairs to prove their worth." Many people chase power so they can earn respect, but true respect is shown to those who appear to have no power at all. The way you treat the least noticed person in the room may one day become the most important decision of your life. If this story reminded you that kindness always comes back, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes that every person deserves respect. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were Daniel?